According to the US Today, 2 towns in northern Michigan have made it atop the small towns in the Midwest, and they're only 2 hours apart. That's why today we'll be discussing the ultimate comparison between Petoskey and Traverse City, probably the 2 hottest markets in northern Michigan right now. What should you choose? Where should you live? And which one is the best? So watch this video and you'll hear the answer straight from a northern Michigan local. Let's start by discussing one of the top factors when picking a new place to live: location. The old real estate saying stands true: location, location, location. And it's never more important than when you're purchasing a home that you and your family will live in. So does Petoskey or Traverse City have a better location for you? Located at the bottom of Grand Traverse Bay in Lake Michigan, with a total population of 15,000 and 95,000 in the entire county, Traverse City is small enough to have charm, but big enough to have everything you'll need when choosing a place to live. One of the standout perks of living in Traverse City is the proximity to larger cities such as Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, and even Detroit. This makes it convenient to travel, whether it's for work or for visiting family and friends in those other cities. Now, with a population of about 6,000, Petoskey gives you more of a small town feel with a close-knit community, where it feels like everyone knows each other. Now, Petoskey can feel a bit more remote than Traverse City, but the fact that it's tucked away gives it a much more peaceful environment. If you want to leave behind the noise of a big city, Petoskey is the choice for you. Now, location is important, but it is only one factor that goes into finding what lifestyle is right for you. By the way, I have a lot more videos coming about both of these towns and many others in northern Michigan. So if you would like to stay in the loop with what is going on in northern Michigan real estate, hit the subscribe button and watch for our weekly videos. Not only are Petoskey and Traverse City different in population size, they also have different entertainment options. So what is there to do in Traverse City and Petoskey, and what is the major difference between these 2 towns? I feel both Traverse City and Petoskey could fit you if you're the outdoorsy type. They both have great hiking trails and also great biking trails, whether you want to use a road bike or ride one of the mountain bike trails in each area. If you're into skiing, Petoskey has Boyne Highlands, Boyne Mountain, and Nubs Knob, while Traverse City has Crystal Mountain. Many people also like to fish, especially in Petoskey. But if you like to swim, you're gonna love the warmer waters of Grand Traverse Bay. Both cities have beautiful beaches and inland lakes for water sports. Traverse City is also located near the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore, which provides for some great views if you make it to the top of the dunes. And let's not forget about golf. Both Traverse City and Petoskey have great golf courses. Also, Gaylord, which is the golf mecca of northern Michigan, is a very short commute and is almost halfway between the 2 towns. To finish off with a bang, I think Traverse City wins for the events because it's hard to beat the Cherry Festival, which happens every summer in Traverse City. They have a great carnival and even bring some big name concerts to town. This event draws about 500,000 people to the Traverse City area for that week. Now, what if you're less about going for hikes and more about the relaxing lifestyle? Maybe you want to go to the bookstore or get a great cup of coffee in one of these downtowns. If that is true, both Traverse City and Petoskey are perfect for you. They both have great bookstores and both have multiple coffee shops located in their downtown. If you're looking for other relaxing activities to do in both Petoskey and Traverse City, there are some other great options. Traverse City is quickly becoming one of the most up-and-coming wine regions in the entire country. There are many wineries on the peninsulas in Traverse City, including Manobo and Mobby, which are 2 of my personal favorites. And it's just not about the wine. There are also some great craft beer options, including the Right Brain Brewing Company, the Filling Station, and even Rare Bird. If you want good food along with good wine and good beer, then I'm here to tell you Traverse City has one of the best dining scenes that I've seen anywhere. And I know some people who have traveled the world that say Traverse City's food scene is one of the best you're going to find anywhere. If you're a history nerd, you're going to like the villages of the Grand Traverse Commons. It used to be a psychiatric hospital, but now has a couple of cool restaurants and a bunch of shops, including my favorite restaurant in Traverse City, Pepe Nero. Petoskey also has a great downtown with great shops and restaurants, which feels much smaller than Traverse City does. And a lot of people that have visited both Traverse City's downtown and Petoskey's downtown have told me that Petoskey just feels like such a smaller town, and they have the more small town charm than Traverse City does. If you're into art, you're going to want to check out the Crooked Tree Art Center downtown Petoskey. They have great art exhibits and even a handful of shows every year, and it is a major focal point of the area. Petoskey is also a very historic town. If you want to feel like you went back a couple of centuries, you should spend a couple of nights if you're in town at the Stafford Perry Hotel, located right on 31 and also right on Lake Michigan. It's so old that there are even a few ghost stories floating around about it. With all of these in mind, I think you can get a pretty solid idea of which lifestyle appeals to you. But if you'd like to have a more concrete idea of what it's like to actually live in Traverse City or Petoskey, Traverse City has a very strong local culture and many events to look forward to. This makes for a very lively community overall, where you can easily meet new people and become part of the local scene. Neighbors know each other and there's a strong connection between locals. Also, if you're coming into this area with children, Traverse City has some of the highest rated schools in northern Michigan. Some of the schools in Traverse City rank in the top 80 in the state, so quality education is something you look forward to. One thing I noticed when driving through Traverse City is how much expansion is going on. It seems like every road and every street has either new residential development or even a commercial development, and sometimes even industrial development. If making a solid investment in the home you purchase is a big deal, then Traverse City could be the right place for you. Real estate in Traverse City over the last few years has been a much better investment than most areas around the country in terms of appreciation. Finally, if you're retiring in northern Michigan, a fun fact is Traverse City was voted the #1 place to retire in the entire country, not just Michigan. Petoskey is about the small town historical charm also. You get the modern convenience of living here with some old school aesthetics as well. Overall, the lifestyle is pretty laid back with a strong focus on outdoor activities. So if wanting to be outdoors a lot is the reason you're relocating to northern Michigan, you're going to want to keep Petoskey in mind. Something that also surprises people is just how geared to a healthy lifestyle living in Petoskey is. Not only are there the numerous outdoor activities, but there are also so many local gyms, including my favorite, CrossFit Petoskey. Petoskey's closeness to Nubbs Knob and the Boyne Mountain and Boyne Highlands make living here in the winter much more bearable. There's a clear reason why Petoskey was voted the #4 town in the entire Midwest. It's the lifestyle. Now that we've talked about the lifestyle in both Petoskey and Traverse City, one of the most important factors in choosing a town, how much does it cost to live in each of these places? Home prices in Traverse City range anywhere from $350,000 to $500,000, with properties going as high as $1.3 million. Now, while that is on the pricier side, you get tons of different options. And one thing I personally like about Traverse City is there are some outlying towns that are closer by that have much more affordable houses and are still a short commute away from downtown Traverse City if that's where you plan to work or hang out. Now, Traverse City does have a higher cost of living than Petoskey, but it is still comparatively low compared to other areas, which is why retirees continue to move here. In fact, from a cost of living standpoint, Traverse City is about 8% cheaper than the rest of the country. But if we're comparing it to Michigan, Traverse City is about 2% more expensive than the average cost of living in the state of Michigan. Now let's talk about Petoskey. When you're thinking about buying a house in Petoskey and wondering what the values are, there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind. One, there are many different parts of Petoskey. There's the downtown area, which can be more expensive, and there are some outlying subdivisions that can be both really affordable and really expensive at the same time, depending what you're looking for in a house. Downtown Petoskey has some beautiful Victorian houses, especially on Mitchell Street. Those houses generally start for over $1 million and are typically very large. Now, if you don't care about being on Mitchell Street, the average cost for a home in downtown Petoskey is $600,000. Also, something to keep in mind is living downtown also means higher property taxes. But don't worry, if you want to live downtown Petoskey and you don't have a $600,000 to $1 million budget, there are occasionally houses you can buy for $300,000 to $350,000 that might be a little bit smaller and need a little bit of work, but still allow you to live the downtown Petoskey lifestyle. So now that we know all of this, how should you go about choosing the perfect town? You should choose Traverse City if you want the feeling of a big city while still being up north. Now, I understand in relation to the bigger cities in Michigan, Traverse City is still very small. However, that is the most similar big town experience you're going to get while still being in northern Michigan. Also, home prices in Traverse City tend to be a little bit less than they do in Petoskey. And one of the big reasons for that is they simply have more houses for sale in Traverse City than we do in Petoskey. Also, as I mentioned before, there are a couple of outlier towns just outside of Traverse City that are still a 10 to 15 minute drive to downtown that have much cheaper houses than Traverse City in general. You should choose Petoskey if you like the small town feel and the ability to be very close to the ski hills. Now, of course, I'm biased, but in my opinion, Petoskey has a much better year-round feel, meaning you get to be in one of the best places in the world during the summer months, which everybody knows about. But also, I believe the winter months are some of the most underrated times to be in northern Michigan. The week between Christmas and New Year almost feels like mini summer because everybody comes back for the holidays and the town gets super busy. Ultimately, I don't think you can go wrong whether you pick Traverse City or Petoskey. It's really just which one fits you best. These are two of the best small towns in the entire country, which is the main reason that so many people are relocating there. So if you're interested in relocating anywhere in Northern Michigan, I would love to help. I'm a top producing real estate agent that has been in this market for 22 years, and we are helping people every day just like you relocate to Northern Michigan. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, please call 231-487-6141 or fill the contact form in the comments. And for more videos like this and everything Northern Michigan real estate related, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like this video, but you're still curious if Petoskey is right for you, there's definitely things to love, but there are also things that you're not going to like about living here. So watch this video next as I go over the pros and cons of living in Petoskey from a local perspective, and it's helped a lot of people decide if Petoskey was right for them or not. See you on the next one.